Hey everybody, Brad Lamb here. I am in New York City today, and I'm so glad that you're joining Scott and I to get busy and stay committed and be accountable in the J10 Challenge. I have a few ideas tonight, 3 specifically, that I want to throw out there, and Scott's going to follow up and do some teaching on them tonight, but I just want to introduce them to you. But first, I want to honor you for the commitment that you've not only made, but that the time you're taking out of your schedule to honor yourself and to honor this process. You know, change doesn't occur overnight. It doesn't happen automatically. You certainly know that. I know that. And in that way, in this time, I want you to just feel the way that I'm honoring you. Really, accept that. My friend Tenny McCarty, who's a wonderful therapist down in Buffalo Gap, Texas at Shades of Hope Treatment Center, she taught me something, and it's this idea of rubbing it in. So, as someone honors you, or gives you a compliment, I want you to just pause for a second and rub it in. Right on. The thing about rubbing it in, of accepting the compliment, it's a way that you can honor and value and accept the appreciation and recognition that somebody else is giving you. So, rub it in today. Okay, so a few things we're going to talk about today. The first one is a notion of a truth booth. And I want you to picture a booth, like I just walked into it, and we're here in it together, the truth booth. And in this place, it's a lie-free, it's a minimization-free zone. It's a spot where we're committing to the truth, no worse or better than just the truth. And in that way, in this truth booth, in this space where we're going to be honest, where we're practicing real, rigorous, not brutal, but loving honesty, we're not only going to get real, but we're going to get better. The truth booth. So think about that. And then Scott's going to follow up on that tonight. But number 2 is, I want you to open up your mind to the notion of doing the math. And look, you know that 1 plus 1 equals 2, that 2 plus 2 equals 4, that 3 times 9 equals 27. And in that way, the math tells us a story. We can count on it. It's never wrong. We do that math. And in that way, I want you to do the math about what costs have occurred due to the food fight, due to your struggle with food. And so I want you to look at these 3 areas when you're doing the math. The physical, the emotional, and then the spiritual costs. The emotional, the spiritual, and the physical costs. Okay? When I say physical, you know, so often with drugs or alcohol, the immediacy, the crisis is often so apparent that it's a call to action. It's the immediate crisis. I can't breathe. It's a call to action. My body hurts. It's a call to action. Oh my God, my head hurts. I'll never do that again. With food, often it creeps up on us. And so the immediate and costs, the immediate costs that are so easy to see, like it's hard for me to walk, or my blood pressure is high, or I have diabetes as a result of the way I eat. Those are definitely costs. But I want you to look at the other costs too. The things that are being taken away from the kind of life you want to live because of what you weigh and how you eat. That's the physical piece. Then also the emotional pieces of how the food and the weight is insulating you from the relationships, the people in your life who you love, both intimate and non-intimate relationships. And I mean intimacy both in an emotional and also a sexual intimacy. So costs are, I'm sure you're doing the math. You're starting to even just wrap your head around what the costs might be. And then spiritual is not a way to say like, God, how is this keeping me from God? No, it's not that. It's instead, how is the way I eat changing this beautiful, vibrant, light spirit that's inside me that connects me with others and with love and my version of my higher power. Okay? So that's the math. And then third, it's this notion of crossing over into accountability, crossing over into accountability. And you're right there, right now. By joining us tonight, you are being accountable. You're being vulnerable. You're showing up. But I want you to really think about committing to that in an even deeper way. And Scott's going to talk about that. It involves turning over your food. It involves letting another person in to help you be accountable with your food. And the reason why this is so important is our relationship with food is one of the most intimate relationships we have in our entire life. So I want you to be open about being accountable in some, as of yet, even undiscussed ways. Okay? 3 things: truth booth, costs, doing the math, and then finally, being accountable.